So how can you as a settler, because you've settled in this part of the country for a longer period of time and then you begin dragging land with them? I've never seen that happen in the West. How would you even do that in the West? You've not yet finished dealing with racism before you even start talking about or dragging land with the real owners. Let's look at this video and keep our thoughts in the comment section.
It's time to share.
I cannot share because then I cannot live the life that I want to lead.
You have to give up. You have to give up.
Even their land. If they wanted their land, then they should have done something 100 years ago. And who's to say that the land originally even belonged to them? For all we know, there were people before them there who they took the land from.
A Namibian farmer is unwilling to share it. And in Tanzania, the Maasai are being violently displaced because of it. The Landless People's Movement says Namibian whites need to give back.
We have met our white compatriots in the farming sector and we've said to them, it's time to share. You can't own 2 farms of 20,000 hectares and think we will be your friends.
I need to live off the land too. And I don't have anything else but the land. So the way I am situated currently with my family, I cannot share because then I cannot live the life that I want to lead.
The power relations are unequal. You have to give up. You have to give up. Because if you don't give up, the conditions on the ground will take it from you.
That is right, and that's always the threat. And we get threatened with that all the time.
White Namibians, who made up only 6% of the population, owned 97% of commercial farms.
We will have to invade. It's coming. The way we see it, it's coming.
Size-wise?
14,000 hectares.
15,000 football stadium. Great. The best solution is for ultimately for us to occupy those ones.
We will take law in our own hands.
Black people are the majority in this country. They decide to occupy the land, they are going to decide to occupy the land. There is nothing that the minority can do.
Mostly this farm is belonging to the German guys.
It's time to share.
I cannot share.
Today, white Namibians don't want to give it up. I'm from Namibia, born and raised.
Must not provoke us too far. They still occupy illegal occupied farms where they cannot produce, none of them can produce a title of deed. None. How they got hold of these farms? None of them can produce these things. In 1904, there was no title deed office here. But they are occupying these farms, we respect them. Because under the policy of reconciliation, our parents, grandparents, animals were dispossessed. Working animals were dispossessed. By who? By the white people, white settlers.
How do you feel about righting the wrongs of the past? There has got to be some righting of that wrong, hasn't there?
In principle, yes. That's right. The view. I haven't done anything wrong. How can I make something right that I haven't done wrong?
Do you not see yourself as a beneficiary of a wrong that was committed through colonialism?
Strictly speaking, I might. At the end of the day, my first priority is my family and our life, and then I can look at other things and make it right.
Let's go back to your great-grandfather. The land benefited him.
Absolutely.
Right? Why can't it benefit a landless Namibian? Just in the same way?
You're asking me a difficult question. I cannot answer.
At independence, white Namibians, who made up only 6% of the population, owned 97% of commercial farms. You've resettled 5,300 people, but the people that you need to resettle are 243,000. That is a 2% success rate. Some people would say it's actually a failure rate.
Well, it is.
Our people continue to live in spaceless townships and informal settlements in squalor without clean water and flushing toilets. When we revived the cry for land to build houses, build schools, churches, factories, and farms, this cry was once more hijacked. We tabled a motion for Parliament to start a process to amend Section 25 of the Constitution to allow for expropriation of land without compensation into the custody of the state. that process was hijacked. Despite hundreds of submissions that made a concrete call for expropriation of all land without compensation, whites continue to own 72% of total farms and agricultural land, while black Africans only own 4% of the land. This is the reason why they don't want to amend the constitution.
So we can all see that it is no longer news. It is no longer hidden. How can you be fighting for a 50-50 share in the land you are not its true non-original settlers? How can you be fighting for a land where you don't even know about its origin? You're just settlers. The fact that your parents, your ancestors lived there, died, and you were born there doesn't make you the real owner. I hope our African leaders are taking note of all of these things that are happening. I hope we are not just blindly selling out our land to foreigners, to people who are not indigenous of that land. And then tomorrow we'll all be driven out with the claims that we're all foreigners, we're all settlers, no one owns the land. This is our father's land. This is our heritage. We ought to guide it with the whole of our hearts. It was given to us by our ancestors as our inheritance, and we also ought to pass it across to our children and even our children's children. Oh God, a lot is really happening. Africans, wising up, be knowledgeable about things that are happening so that in the nearest future, when the parents who sold this land to the settlers are no more, we wouldn't have to be dragging over our own inheritance. So, my beloved, I want you to leave your thoughts in the comment section because I don't have much to say again. This is really heartbroken.